Okay, welcome to the Crow Discovery Project. Got some new solar tools. The chemtrailing has been terrible here. Last night we set up to film the moon and it prevented us from being able to focus. Today is no different. They're out in force again, as you can see by this image. What was weird about today is they sprayed this kind of powdery, sparkly stuff all over, and then it turned into a frequency pattern, which you can see here. The entire sky is covered with this, and they kept spraying. You can see that guy's almost right over the sun. This is what they were doing as I tried to use my solar equipment. And what it does is it obscures the surface detail, and then at some point you can't get good focus anymore. This has been going on for 3 or 4 days heavily here. It's terrible. Last night we had a relatively clear shot at the moon. We had a beautiful view of the moon, and they just started spraying, and it was only about an hour before we couldn't focus. Anyhow, here is the solar telescope, and I'm going to show you the new part that goes right on the front of what you just saw there. This is called the double stack. It's additional filters, and this object right here, it's really heavy, screws right onto the front of the scope and allows for a much more detailed view with good contrast, and you'll see that view in a minute. I'm going to show you footage without the double stack and with the double stack, but unfortunately there's a little bit of chem debris involved. At any rate, here's what happened when I had come in to download and review what I shot through the solar scope. We went back out and saw this, so I got out my camera and took a couple stills. This is, people are going to tell you this is ice crystals and everything else. It's nearly 100 degrees outside. There's next to no humidity. And this is not ice crystals. This is chem debris that does this, at least today. So the first view we're going to take here is the solar telescope, how I have been using it without the double stack. And you'll notice what looks like clouds going in front. That's actually chemtrail debris obscuring the view, and you can see it there. So I'm going to give you a couple views like we typically do with the old system. Here it is. That's all the surface detail you can get. You can see a prominence up on the upper right there, and there's actually some prominence at the lower right as well, but without the additional filtering power of the double stack, you can't really detect them. So we'll take one more view after this of the solar telescope without the double stack. And here comes the double stack footage. And bang, look, you can see more prominence, you can see more surface detail. Here's light blocking technique, and there's the prominence up at the top right. We're going to do it again and check out the lower right. There's the prominence at the lower right, and then I'll just show you the light blocking on the whole disk. And there's light blocking. So we're going to go through a few views here with the double stack. You can see the increased visibility of surface detail. And to be honest, the viewing was not great today. The chem planes were making it even tougher. There's not a lot of surface detail, but you can see quite a few filaments. And when I tune in, you can see prominence that frankly isn't really viewable without the double stack. And with the find edge filter, you can see the prominence pretty well there on the right side. There is a slight trace on the left. But this double stack is a big deal. It's a whole new view of the sun, and when we get good days to film, it'll be something to see. So this is our last view we're going to take of the sun on April, 3 today? April 3, 2015. There it is. Cheers.